And if you speak to Dillian, you can say that I still want to fight him. So
This is Jonathan Aguilar, fifth Pro Boxing fans, joined by Otto Wallin, who's getting ready for a fight July 26th in Atlantic City. Otto, you've been waiting patiently to get back in the ring. How excited are you for next week?
it feels good. I'm excited. I actually had my first fight in the US in Atlantic City, and then it only lasted a round because we had a clash of heads, and then the guy didn't want to fight anymore. So hopefully this time uh, get a little bit more. But it's good. I mean, it's nice to come back, nice to get a fight and get back out there.
Has it been, frustrating not being able to fight since December, or have you just enjoyed the time off?
No, it's been good. That was my plan. We sat down my team after the Joshua fight and try to figure out the next steps. And I said I needed a few months. So I think that July now is good. And I mean I've been out for then 7 months, which is could be worse, but I think it's good. It's good to get a little break and be in the gym and train. And I think it's good timing for this fight.
You're fighting a fella called Honorariode Ewariem. Hope I've pronounced that right. But he's been in with a few guys like Jalolov and people like that. So what kind of test are you expecting next week?
We'll see. He's 20-4. He's got 19 knockouts, so he probably can punch a little bit. And he seems to be a boxer. Try to box, use his jab, and but I think that I'm in a good space. I've had good training. I feel very prepared. So I think that as long as I do my thing, I'm gonna win the fight.
I mean, it's one of those, I guess, that you're obviously expected to win, but I guess overlooking him would be a big problem, right?
Always, you can never overlook anyone in the heavyweight division, especially when people punch very hard. So anything can change with one punch. So I got to make sure I'm on my A game the whole fight and take care of business.
And where can fans watch it next week?
Uh, it's gonna be shown on TV, but it's not done yet. Waiting for the announcement from the promoter, so I can't say.
Okay. So tune in next week. Obviously, I will have
Uh,
to, despite saying not overlooking anyone, I will have to also talk about the future. You're a free agent. You can be with whoever you want after this fight. Yeah, how excited are you for the future?
I'm very excited. I think I'm in a good place right now as a free agent. I think that's actually I think and I hope that it's working to my advantage because especially with Saudi Arabia, I can do business with anyone and it's easy for me to get fights, wherever now. So it's good I get this fight, get back out there, and hopefully, like we say, I can't overlook anyone. But if I win this fight, I'm hoping get something bigger in the fall, and since I'm a free agent, I can really fight anyone.
It feels like we've spoken about Dillian White so many times, but that's, I'm sure, a guy you still want to get in with.
I do for sure, and it's funny you asked that because I did two interviews last week, and they both asked about Dillian White also. So it seems like people are interested in that, and I would love to fight Dillian White. I think that he's always up to something, but I still fight him, and I think it's a good fight for me, and I think I'll handle him.
Is that like the number one guy on your list, or is there other names you'd be like maybe look at the winner of Ruiz Miller or someone like that?
There's a lot of guys out there, but I say Dillian is definitely one of the guys that I really want to fight. Especially since we were supposed to fight before. So yeah, I mean, yeah, he's maybe the top guy that I want to fight right now. I think he's a perfect fight for me at this stage.
Hmm. Let me just ask you about the day after your fight. We got Joyce against Derek Chisora. How do you think that fight's going to go?
I think that Joyce is gonna stop Chisora, and we'll see what kind of shape Chisora's in. But I know that Joyce had those two losses, but still, it's a good fighter and probably more fresh than Chisora. So I think that Joyce is gonna win. But I mean, you never know. Depends on how both guys look, so obviously. But Joyce got to be the favorite.
What about Otto Wallin, Joe Joyce?
Yeah, that'd be a good fight.
Mm. Let me ask you as well about Andy Ruiz, Gerald Miller, taking place in Los Angeles. How do you think that one's going to go?
I think it's an interesting fight. My brother actually asked me this morning about that fight and who's gonna win. I said it's a tough one actually. I'd say probably maybe a 50-50 fight. But I told my brother, I said if Miller is in good shape and can keep his pace up, he can do well because Reese he's a sharp guy, but he likes to take long breaks in the fights. So if Miller can keep the pace up, I think he can outwork him and win the fight.
Mm. And then obviously everyone's talking about AJ and Dubois. What did you make of their? I don't. You must have seen it. You know their little altercation thing. Do you think Dubois got a bit under AJ's skin? I mean, we saw him, you know, trade words with you in face-offs before, Hellenius and stuff like that. Uh, you know, what do you think went on there?
It's hard to say. I think that it's all part of the game. Joshua, he doesn't like to be like he calls it when people disrespect him. So I think it's just normal banter for a fight. You know, you go back and forth a little bit. But I don't know. I mean, we'll see. But I guess Joshua, maybe he doesn't like him. I don't know.
I know, obviously, you sparred Joshua before fighting him. Have you ever had any rounds with Dubois?
No, never. But I haven't. I only saw him when I was out there in England. That was a while ago now, and he was just like 18 years old or something. I don't think they sparred at that time when I was there, but I saw Dubois around the gym there in Sheffield.
How do you think it's going to go on September 21st?
It'd be an interesting fight. Two good punchers. So I think anything could happen, but at the same time, I think that if Dubois comes out and get hits as much as he got with Hergovich, I think Joshua is gonna knock him out pretty early. But if he can tighten up his defense a little bit and hit Joshua with some good shots, get Joshua out of his momentum a little bit and make him doubt himself, then I think it could turn into a really good fight. But we'll see what happens.
Is there anything that surprised you about Joshua? I know, obviously, you know, he's been on a good run of form and things like that. Was there anything that particularly surprised you when you got in the ring?
Yeah, I don't know if anything surprised me, but he was very sharp, and I gotta say he was one or two steps ahead of me that night. So maybe that surprised me a little bit.
But I mean, going forward for yourself, fighting someone like Joshua, you fought Fury as well. How much do you feel your experience now can take you further and with these other big fights that can come up for you?
I think it will help me the experience. Especially I've been having a tough time, getting those big fights that I wanted, and finally, I had last year I beat Garcia, I lost to Joshua, but it's all good experience, and I think it all adds up. And honestly, I think I'm getting better, and I'm trying to get better, and experience is a big factor. So I think it do me well.
Mm. And just finally, given obviously you fought in Saudi Arabia, it just seems like it doesn't matter about taking losses too much at this point because, as long as you put in a good performance, you can come back, right? So I guess it's still quite an exciting time to be a heavyweight.
It's a great time to be a heavyweight, and that's why I say also it's nice to be a free agent, so I can do whatever I want to really, and entertain any offers that I get. So with Saudi Arabia, I gotta say that Turkey, he talked to us fighters before the fights over there, and he said that whether you win or lose, I want you guys to come back and fight here again. And I think that's really that speaks a lot about him because you never hear a promoter say that in boxing. If you lose a fight, you get taken back and you might not get another shot. But here, they give you shots, and if you do your best, you're gonna be able to come back. And I think that's really good. They're taking care of us fighters really well out there.
Brilliant. Well, also, good luck next week. Get the win, and hopefully we will see you
Yeah.
back in these big fights because there's a lot of names, and yeah, I'm sure you're desperate to get a part of it again.
Yeah, so sounds good. Thank you very much. And if you speak to Dillian, you can say that I still want to fight him, so we can make that happen.
I'll put in a word if I see him. Also,
Okay, good.
appreciate it, and yeah, we'll see you soon. Good luck.
Thank you.